When it comes to being able to actually see your fitness improve, one of the most underrated things is learning how to breathe. Well, I'm not dead, I'm doing it right? Now, I don't know about you guys. I drive a scooter, I take the bike out to get around the city, but with the family, we take the car, obviously. Can't strap my son to the back of a scooter, not safe. But my heart rate and my stress levels go way up. The drivers we mentioned in one of our previous videos, which you guys can find down below, about people walking and texting and driving and texting, crossing the street and looking at their phones. Well, one of the things that helps me, number one, is to try and remember it's not them, but it's breathing to bring the stress levels down. Now, within a workout, and this is both for cyclists, triathletes, or all three, and those of us who are just getting into fitness, being able to control our heart rate and bring it down as quickly as possible is one of the easiest ways for us to control our internal environment and allow us to build fitness quickly.
Right, person with stress, right away, heart rate goes up, and with our heart rate, our respiration, because the lungs have to pump enough oxygen to the heart to keep it going, and then we go way up. And sometimes we hit our maximum levels, and it's not healthy.
And what a lot of people are just learning now, myself included, is that when you get into better postures and positions, the breath can go into more of the lungs, so you're using more of it. But more importantly, it changes the internal environment. So cortisol, that stress hormone that we've heard so much about, you can actually positively affect that by breathing. I don't have a specific research if you're looking for that. There are a couple out there. Some of them aren't as well peer-reviewed, but if you just talk to the average person, mentally you feel better. And a lot of the times, it's that placebo effect, right? As soon as you believe it, that's where it's going to go.
Well, what we're going to teach you now is a basic breathing exercise. And what this basic breathing exercise is great if you're young or if you're old, and you start off with good posture, and you make sure that your shoulders are down and your ribs are out, so your lungs have room to expand. And Menachem is now going to teach us how to breathe properly.
So let's have you go ahead and turn square to me. Now we're going to do two exercises. The first one is the basic exercise, which is an umbrella breathing exercise. Our ribs have two joints, one in through the rib cage, that's a cartilage, and one in through in between the spine. And what we're looking for, not in between the spine, but the processes that come off. What we're going to think about is getting a full 360-degree breath, like opening an umbrella. So we want all of the umbrella to open, not half of it to be flat. So we're going to put the hands onto the rib cage and let the elbows relax, and we're going to try and fill through our nose into the sides and into the back. So let's actually keep you turned towards me, and let's have you take a deep breath in through the nose and out. So like most of us, Laser is taking a chest breath, which is not what we're looking for. We want to try and breathe into the back area back here. So think about filling the area with your thumbs with air. There you go, breathe in and then breathe out. Go ahead and breathe out. And what you can hear is that he's getting a little bit of a forceful exhale. So let's try and make it a ha as opposed to a pursed lips. There we go. So that might sound really weird and not something you necessarily want to do in the office, but at home in the shower, this is a great way to open up your body, get you to move a little bit better. What you guys didn't hear at home, there was a little bit of cracking there. So a previous injury in part, but also because those ribs.
Broken ribs.
So broken ribs, but also those ribs are starting to move a little bit. Now, if anything causes you pain, especially sharp pain, numbness, tingling, loss of sensation, stop exercise, even a breathing exercise immediately, and get in contact with your family physician and a physical therapist to have that looked at. Now, what he's doing here is as he's gone through, his shoulders have dropped, and that has to do with him, me cueing him ha to relax. Now, as we go through here, we want to think about expanding the ribs up and out just a little bit more. There you go. And then out and down. Good. So this is the basic. This is just an umbrella breathing. The hands are here to help you learn and understand when you're getting that air in. Once you have that, you can even do this while you're standing in line at the grocery store. Tucking the chin back, looking up just a little bit, relaxing the shoulders, and just taking a few deep breaths while the cashier or the automatic cashier is taking their time.
It right away releases stress. One thing, I can check myself if my ribs are expanding by the thumbs. Okay, this is my check.
And it's a very easy exercise to do. Now, let's say we've been sitting for a while, and I learned this from Dr. STUART McGill, one of my mentors and world-leading spine expert. It's fantastic, especially for cyclists and triathletes, and it's incredibly simple. It looks a little funny, and you want to make sure you have good deodorant on before you do this, though. So we're going to take the exact same exercise, and now we're going to take it up a level. So if we've been sitting for about a half hour, we want to stretch. We're going to stand up. We're going to reach our hands up to the sky as much as we can. And now here's the important part. We're going to sniff air, and we're going to lift our chest as we sniff air. And then breathe out. Keep the chest up. Sniff again. Breathe out. And then one more. And out. The inhales, just 3, and then hands down. The inhales need to be short and sharp, and you want to think about lifting the chest and leaving it there. So it's a and what we're doing is we are using the air to mobilize the ribs and to get what's called thoracic extension. This is really great. I find this helps a lot. I can't do it in the car, but if I'm stuck in gridlock traffic like we were the other night, I just try and put my hands on top of the steering wheel and sniff a little bit to try and open up. It just takes that tension out of the system and can really help you.
It's a big stress reliever, instant stress reliever.
And these are both great. Well, not this one. This will raise your heart rate, by the way. The first one is a great exercise before we shoot every time Laser does a warm-up. So we have a heart rate monitor on him today, and I was able to cue him, bring your heart rate down. And through just 2 or 3 breaths, he managed to bring his heart rate down from the 170s all the way down to the 140s. And it was incredible to watch. He breathes in, 7 seconds in through the nose, 11 seconds out through the mouth, and his heart rate just went do-do-do-do-do-do. Went from 170 to 160, 160 to 155.
Before that warm-up, before Menachem taught me those exercises, my heart was lingering up in 170, lingering him up 160. I'm up at my max. That's not very healthy to linger like that. Menachem says, we got to bring you down. And then by doing the exercise, right away feel the relief in the body, the relief in the muscles, breathing much easier, and coming right down. So if you could do it in high stress, when we were doing exercise, after we had a good warm-up, we went at a little higher level of exercise. But if it works here, it'll work in the office, it'll work anywhere. And if you're in a meeting, you're in a stressful meeting, you practice. It's not what happens is when you're breathing easier, you're bringing more oxygen to the brain. When you're bringing more oxygen to the brain, you get clarity of thought. People don't realize that. But when a person is in stress, the brain is getting less oxygen, and this is anxiety. This is anxiety because the brain says, I need air, I need oxygen, and he's not getting it. And so what happens, your basic thought process is impaired, and you go into survival mode. And a person in survival mode can't think.
And that's what I work with a lot of my top athletes and also amateur athletes is on the breathing. And we're just now seeing that come into the general population and people are learning about it. But people used to laugh at me when they'd say, I don't need breathing. But as soon as you start to see, athleticism is the ability to stress and relax. And the faster you can go from one extreme to the other, the more of an athlete you are. And this goes from pulsing for a kettlebell swing or a jump to a lift as well. And in your day-to-day life, the more you can control your stress, exactly what you said, great at work. If you can keep yourself from hitting your stress levels, the body doesn't care if it's weightlifting or if it's stress from work.
That is probably the best sign of physical conditioning there is. The fact to be able to bring your heart down at a quick level.
And it has a much better effect on you as a human being. It allows you to be more grateful throughout your days. And the less stress you have, the happier you're going to be and the faster your fitness is going to build.
And if you're trying to lose weight, the cortisol, the stress hormone, that is public enemy number 1 to weight loss.
Exactly right. And we're going to talk about that more. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the podcast on laserbeams.com and subscribing down below because we've got more great content for you on Brody Meets Brody.